But that's a good
We
point.
gotta move on,
We
fellas.
got
We
one
gotta
more.
move
Yeah,
on, fellas.
time for one more
Yeah.
topic.
Looks like we have time for one more topic. Aaron Hernandez committed suicide, or at least that's what they tell us. I believe it was on Thursday. There's numerous reasons uh, or conspiracy theories as to why he did it. There's been some information that's come out since that time, about maybe an alternative lifestyle that he was living and things like that. I personally feel those accusations may be a little unfair because Aaron is not necessarily here to defend himself, and the internet is going crazy. Internet has absolutely no chill. But I would like to get your guys' take on just the whole Aaron Hernandez situation, just as a whole. What's your take on this?
Well, for me, sadness in every way. Sadness for Odin Lloyd's family. Every single
Mm,
time they hear Aaron Hernandez's name, they have to relive those tragic events. And honestly, he only did 3 years in the penitentiary after his conviction. So I could imagine, Odin Lloyd's family feeling cheated, that justice
mm,
wasn't served to the fullest extent. Sadness for the families of those two individuals. Their names are escaping me right now, but the other two young men that Aaron Hernandez killed in Boston. Sadness for their families. Their families were in the courtroom day in and day out, and they
day
were
in, day
there.
out.
They were there with the verdict. They rushed out of the courtroom after the verdict, but Aaron Hernandez beat that double murder case, so I feel a lot of sadness for that family. I'm pretty sure they felt they got zero justice. Sadness for Aaron Hernandez's 4-year-old daughter,
Mm,
whose lasting memory is probably seeing her dad behind plexiglass,
mm,
not being able to hug her father, not being able to have her father tuck her into bed at night. So a lot of sadness for that young girl, and believe it or not, sadness for Aaron Hernandez's girlfriend. She fell in love with a bad guy. I don't necessarily believe that she knew he was a bad guy. I don't necessarily believe that she knew about his criminal activity. Aaron Hernandez was a psychopath. He lived two lives, double lives. And I'm
mm,
very, very sure that he was able to shield his family away from what he really was doing. I read an article in a magazine, Aaron Hernandez's brother, older brother, he didn't even know the things that his brother was getting into. So
yeah.
I think he hid this lifestyle from those that were close to him. And remember, a lot of people don't know this. He was at when he was at Gainesville, Florida. He killed
Oh,
some more people.
oh,
He was in a gang down there in Gainesville, Florida. He bodied at
oh.
least 2 or 3 people down there.
He
Now
was
I know a
doming
lot of
people.
people are
He was
not talking
doming.
about that. He was never brought
He
up
was.
on charges.
Yeah, he was doming people out there.
Yes, he was.
He
So
was really he was really with the business.
he was. So that's it. As far as any feelings towards Aaron Hernandez, the person, I don't have any.
All right.
Sean.
You know, there's two words that really come to my mind when it comes to this whole Aaron Hernandez story. Tragedy and closure. I think you think about kids that want to grow up and realize their dreams and play at a high level at elementary, junior high, high school, get collegiately, get to the league, not only get to the league, but get to the best team in the league, win championships, contracts, and literally have everything in front of your face that you dreamed for. You got there, but you can't marginalize this civil war and the demons that people
Mm,
wrestle with. This
mm,
individual has obviously been troubled for a long time. The value or the lack of value that he put on human life, the trivial type of events that led to murder of people. Not even saying these people were saints or anything like that, but a spilled drink at a club, arguments ensuing, someone maybe revealing something about you that you didn't want known to the world. Whatever the case may be, these aren't justifiable reasons for a mom to lose her son, for brothers or sisters to lose their sibling, for kids to lose their fathers. The lack of compassion, the lack of care for human life is something that for me has not made me feel a whole lot of compassion for his ultimate demise. I think when you have all of these things available to you and accessible to you as deterrents to go back to a faulty lifestyle, a lifestyle that involves crime at the highest level of murder, capital murder, smoking weed at the crime scene, or finding DNA on marijuana cigarettes where you shot this guy in the back, the cavalier attitude in which that he had, shot his friend in the face because he thought he would snitch or whatever the case may be. This person's egotistical, sociopathic tirade, his sense of entitlement, his lack of accountability is something that I have zero respect for. My heart goes out to those families of the victims. I think they finally have closure. They know this person not only is not just locked in a cell and never get out, but you know what? This person's life has been extinguished as well. I don't celebrate murder. I don't celebrate suicide. I don't know what was going through that individual's mind, but there's a lot of people that I know personally that have good people that have done bad things, that really had a callous attitude towards things. And once you're locked up in a cell and all of those freedoms are taken away, there's a part of you dies and a part of you continues to die. And you know, this story, I think, had a tragic beginning and a tragic end, and I think there's finally closure, and that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think, gentlemen, well articulated. I can't articulate what I'm thinking better than what you guys have said, so I'll end on this note. So all the young people that may see this podcast, I want you to look me directly in my eyeballs and listen to what I have to tell you. You're being lied to. With the music that you're hearing, that's glorifying murder, death, this sense of we need to be harder than the next person, and you're soft if you have a job, you're soft if you take care of your family, you're soft if you go to school, you're square if you do the right thing. Those things are false. They're absolutely false. You've been lied to, okay? And I think people like Aaron Hernandez are the prime suspects. They're the prime examples that let you know it's way realer than what you could imagine. Aaron Hernandez had an athletic gift that he could capitalize on monetarily. He was set up for the rest of his life. And some of the activities that he engaged in before he actually made it to the NFL are activities that he continued to engage in after he had already made it, which makes zero sense, absolutely no sense why you would want to become a gang member, and this is not related to Aaron Hernandez, but why you would want to become a gang member after you've already had some measure of success. Rappers that become gang members, athletic figures that become gang members after they've already made it to a certain level of success. It's absolutely false. You've been lied to. Don't go for it. Do not go for it, because you end up in a box by yourself like Aaron Hernandez was. And guess what? Aaron Hernandez took somebody else's life. But the ultimate tragedy was he ended up taking his own life because he couldn't deal with the fact that he was going to be in that box for the rest of his life. And that's as real as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. That is as real as it gets. Don't let these people lie to you. Do not let these people lie to you so you can end up like Aaron Hernandez and every other tragic figure that was trying to be hard. So anyways, fellas, it looks like that's all the time we have. We will be coming back at you next week. Off the Bench podcast featuring myself, Javone Tavares, Kevin Cornegay, Sean Dustin. Gentlemen, another great episode. We coming right back at them next week.
Signing off, y'all. Have a blessed weekend.
Have a blessed week, folks.
Peace.